Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. To those that are new, welcome to my channel. Today I will be drawing 4 of my subscribers' OCs, and yeah, we'll just get started right away. I decided to do them digitally because I had them originally sketched out traditionally and I didn't like the way they were looking. So yeah, here are the originals, and for those that have social media platforms, I will link them below. Alright, the first OC we have is Lady Rila, Bevin of Aerith, the land of Idrira. I chose her red dress. There were so many designs they were just all so beautiful. There's a lot written here about her, and I'm going to have to leave out some of what she sent me just to be able to fit it in, because there's not enough time, so I'll try and make it quick. Lady Rila is a skilled swordswoman and rider, trained from a young age to shadow her older brother. Rila is a soft-spoken young woman with a cheerful and willing-to-serve attitude. She tends to be a bit of a know-it-all and can be quite arrogant. She's the youngest daughter of former Duke of Aerith, having 2 older siblings, the current Duke Ronan and the lower Duchess Rosen, and a younger half-brother, Ron. Rila spent a majority of her teenage life on the battlefield, fighting side by side with her brother and her people. Her life revolving around war, she struggled to keep her cheerful nature, though began to grow cold with the ongoing battle. Never once did they lose in the time of Ronan. Win after win, they seemingly drove the enemy back, until they didn't. The battle was fierce. Rila was separated from her brother and was badly wounded. Barely able to crawl off the battlefield, with the aid of her trusty steed Rennie, she overlooked a sight she had dreaded. Believing her brother must be dead and her land overtaken, she wandered aimlessly through the woods, coming across one dressed as a mercenary that she begged to put her out of her misery. Instead, the young man explained he had been sent to find her by the king, explaining the how and why as he took her back to his camp to nurse her wounds. Rila was very wary of the soldier, as he was clearly from the enemy's ranks. However, with a signed document by her king, she could not refuse the orders he brought, to spread the word of the king's return. This character is just neat all over, like, not just the design or anything, but like the story. There's so much more written here, and guys, you need to go check her out. Her stories are amazing. I don't think she has any written down yet, but the characters are just fascinating, and what I've heard about the characters' stories as well. I'll leave her Instagram linked below for all y'all. And yeah, so I had lots of fun with this digital piece. I will say I was experimenting some, because digital portraits are not something I've done a whole lot of, and I was originally going to do full bodies instead of portraits. So yeah. And here's the finished piece. Alright, next we have Bridget Hart. I found this character really cool, and of course I was super excited to draw her, and here I will read a little bit about her. Bridget Hart is an original character. In a somewhat strange world, she happens to be the strangest of all. Her life takes place in an ancient Celtic clan, where the color of your eyes match your talent. But Bridget is different. She was raised in the forest all her life by her very protective parents because of her strange eyes. One is gray, the other a vibrant orange surrounded by brilliant blue. She doesn't know what the colors mean, and she sets off on an adventure searching for answers. Bridget is a wild soul, born in the heart of the woods. She is clumsy and lovable at times, but is fierce when it comes to protecting the ones she loves most. I think this character is just so cool. When I was coloring her, I had trouble capturing her hair color because in the original, it looked red, but then it also looked brown. And then I tried to get that in-between color look. And I don't know if I captured it just right, but it was still fun. I hope it's accurate. If you couldn't tell, actually, I had a little easier time creating this one than the last one, because of course the last one was also kind of a warm-up. In this one you can see the pose is a little more dynamic. She's doing something, whereas in the last one the character was just standing, which it fit that character, I felt like. But in the original one by the artist, Poe, this character was done by Poe, she was holding a lantern, and I thought that was so neat, and I really wanted to incorporate that into the finished piece. I will say the rendering on this one I feel like is a little different from all the rest, because I went a little quicker, and I guess that was just, again, me experimenting, but I still think it turned out just as nice as the rest. By the way, y'all, all of those whose OCs I've drawn, I'd love to hear what you think or how I did, and here's the finished piece of Bridget Hart. Next up is Mara Anwar from Cool Penguin. Mara is 16 years old. Her father and older brother are soldiers, and she spent many years trying to follow that path and protect her kingdom. That all changed, however, when she discovered her warhammer. Now she has met an awesome group of friends and is taking on school and other worlds. Now, Cool Penguin sent 2 characters. One was Rosie, and of course Mara Anwar, and I really liked Mara Anwar. I felt like that character was just speaking to me, so I had to draw that one. And the pose was a little more difficult for this one, I'll say. As some of you may know, I've been struggling with 3/4 views, and almost all of these characters have 3/4 views. So, as you can see, I'm trying to really tackle that in here. And also, she is turning, so it's not just 3/4 head view. We got like 3/4 view from the back, which was a little more challenging, but I thought it was fun. And the last 2 I did, actually, I used a reference for, at least the face, for anatomy, just because I was struggling with 3/4 views. So I feel like the last 2 may look the best in terms of anatomy, perhaps. But yeah, I mean, I think they all look great. I also noticed that the more of these portraits I drew, the faster they got or became, specifically with sketching, because I had developed a system that worked for me, and I just went with the flow. And I feel like when you have a system, the ugly stage doesn't feel as ugly or bad. It doesn't bother you as much, because that was my biggest problem with digital art, is the ugly stage. It was too painful for me to go through. I have so many unfinished digital art pieces because of that. But since I have worked on my method more, my process, it's gotten better, and yeah, I think that's great. Digital art's now one of my favorite mediums to work with because of that. So yeah, this OC is really cool. I will say, I had a little trouble with the hammer, the way she's holding it. It looks like the handle, the end piece doesn't look like it's perfectly lined up and straight with the rest of it, but I guess that's fine. And here's the finished piece for Mara Anwar. Oh boy. Last but certainly not least, we have Blaze Sparrow by Blur Draws Art. I didn't realize this till maybe I had started already working on it, but it could be the first video where I am drawing a guy. because I don't draw a lot of guys, but I thought, you know what, we're gonna give this a shot. Ignore the rainbow colors on the face. I was trying to make my little brothers laugh. But anyway, yeah, this I think is the first guy that I've drawn on my YouTube channel. So, well, I gotta start somewhere. Now I'll read a little bit about the character. Blaze is an outgoing, spunky guy just living life. His stubborn and sarcastic nature can get him into a bit of trouble occasionally. However, okay, sorry about the way I read sentences, sometimes yeah. Despite his insensitive appearance at times, he's compassionate and has a heart for protecting and fighting for the greater good. He's a police officer for a small Texas town, well known and loved by the town's citizens. Very similar to Tom in the Sonic movie that I think, now that I think about it. By the way, I'm reading off of something she sent me. Though Blaze is more than meets the eye. He was originally a secret agent for the US division of ISDA, the International Secret Defense Agency. After a very near-death experience during a mission, losing his leg due to injury and dealing with a PTSD from the whole situation, he decided to quit the secret agent business and settle down with his wife, Carmen Sandiego Sparrow. He later rejoins ISDA for one last mission when his younger brother, Brent Sparrow, CEO of Sparrow Tech, is suspected of stealing an extremely dangerous computer virus from the US government. Wow, you guys, surely you can see why I wanted to draw this character. He's just awesome all the way around, and besides, I really liked his look. Like, come on, complementary colors, orange and blue, or red and blue. People call red hair red, but I feel like it looks more orange. Anyway, yeah, all these characters are really awesome, you guys. I want to thank you so much for submitting them. I had so much fun doing this. I would totally do it again, so please keep on sending them if you want. I'll probably do one in the future, maybe not too soon, but yeah. So here's the finished piece. I want to thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!